¿Qué tal, señor? Bienvenidos, mujeres posmuro devastadas al enterarse que los hombres realmente no las quieren ya para nada, güey. Ni para el rato las quieren, pero bueno.
It's been almost 4 years since I completely uprooted my life.
It's about being older and being single and not having children.
Because I don't even have a person to get pregnant with.
Esto se va a poner feo, güey. O sea, imagínate, por lo que ellas mismas estaban quejando anteriormente, ahora sufren por eso. Se quejan de los hombres, ahora sufren porque no tienen un hombre con el cual puedan tener hijos. Ridículas, bro. Pero bueno, vamos a ver, porque esto se va a poner como, no sé, güey, como si fuera una película de terror, algo así, para ellas, ¿no?
A few weeks ago, I suffered a mild heart attack. I didn't think I was going to make it, and it was just disheartening to not have anybody there.
Yeah, we made it to the end and it didn't happen.
Sure, I could go get pregnant on my own or get a donor, but I don't want that. I want to have a baby with the person that I love.
I wish women.
Oh, están demasiado dolidas, güey. A ver, no sé si en el futuro van a empezar como que a darse cuenta de que la cagaron. Y bueno, darse cuenta que la cagaron, sí. Darse cuenta que la cagaron aunado a literalmente pedir disculpas, güey. No lo necesitamos, la neta, pero si toman esa iniciativa, yo creo que les va a hacer un bien aquí. Pero bueno, vamos a ver.
When I'm on my deathbed, I'm not gonna go. I'm sure glad, I'm happy I worked a ton. It's not, it doesn't carry as much weight.
My health has failed me, and who's going to be there for me?
Yes, guys, the truth truly hurts. When talking about older women revealing their true dating experiences, instead of the feminist propaganda plastered all over social media.
Good morning, everyone. So I haven't done an update in a bit on the dating in your 50s. So much fun. I'm having such a fun time.
So then you tell yourself, it's okay, I'm strong, I'm happy, I'm doing fine.
Yeah, right. Please drop a like on the video if you think that people that are constantly screaming at you about how happy they are probably lying. And comment down below what you think. Currently, social media is flooded with women claiming it's wonderful to be old and single because it aligns with the narrative of women not needing men. But when you ask real women that don't want to sell you a course or some dating consultancy service on how life actually is, then it would tell you a completely different story.
This whole dating thing, especially at my age, over 50, is just bullshit. I wonder if I have lost the ability to connect, having been single a long time, dated a lot, have I lost that ability?
So when women hit 30 and they're like, oh, I'm not married, I don't have kids, they definitely go through this panic.
It's hard to get a guy to even get to the point of actually going on a date or meeting for the first time.
You see, I already proved this massive discrepancy between the false narrative and the real-world experience when it comes to women getting older and continuing to date in my Age of Desperation video linked up here, where I went into the lies of egg freezing. When you ignore the social media hype and just look at the actual numbers, things start to look a lot more depressing, and women are not freezing their fertility at all.
I really thought this process would slow down my biological clock and I wouldn't feel as much pressure. And I feel way more pressure now.
And now we are seeing real-world proof of this from Coco Beauty, where she had a complete mental breakdown when she tried to go freeze her eggs and found out that she's close to being infertile and that it might never work.
I have been crying the entire day. And people say oh, you're not alone. This happens to so many women. But I mean, it feels very alone. lonely.
You see, she's yet another victim of the feminist propaganda machine that she herself is actually guilty of participating in. And so now in this video, we're going in deeper, starting with first, the hypocrisy and lies of older women contradicting themselves, then following up with the problems of older women dating younger men, and finishing with the grand finale of older women creating single mothers out of their own daughters to then blame the whole disaster on, of course, men. Classic. So first up is this lovely lady who is a certified jaded man-hater, and this becomes very clear very quickly when you listen to her talking about older men dating younger women.
The only kind of men that date and marry women that are substantially younger than them are insecure men. These are men that want to exploit women, that want to dominate women.
Okay, so clearly older men dating younger women is bad, that's her stance, right? Now let's see what she thinks about older women dating younger men.
Let's talk about older women who date younger men. And I am one of them.
This woman makes a whole video vilifying men that date younger women, but it turns out she's doing the exact same thing. But I'm not surprised.
Oh my god, no, sí, es que te digo que realmente muchas de ellas, güey, se me puede decir que todas, ¿no? Pero en realidad la gran mayoría no se dan cuenta de la hipotenusa en la que se están metiendo, ¿no? O sea, realmente hablan con una pinche seguridad, pero es por hipocresía, güey, lo sabemos perfectamente. Es doble moral, güey, los famosos double standards. Que, ¿cómo es posible de que prácticamente crucificas a los vatos que salen con chicas más jóvenes y los tachan de lo peor, ¿no? Inseguros, puta madre. Pero una mujer mayor que sale con hombres jóvenes, pues eso no hay ningún problema. O sea, esa es la fantasía, la hipocresía que les vende el feminismo. Y luego después, mira, tienen un montón como quiera de seguidores, pero pues es pura lloradera, güey. En sus redes sociales, sus TikToks o Instagram, lo que sea. Y es lo único que saben hacer, no saben hacer otra cosa. Si supieran hacer otra cosa, bueno, estuvieran los hombres ahí detrás de ellas, ¿no? Pero no. Bueno, vamos a seguir.
Surprised because, like I showed in my Passport Bro series, linked up here, it is these types of Western women who constantly complain about men and their dating preferences, but end up being massive hypocrites since they do the exact same thing.
Passport-brain movement is more American male toxicity.
That made me decide to go to Italy today. If you've ever been to the Balkans, you know what I'm talking about, and it's all men.
But yeah, you can't really expect that type of chivalry that I have found in other countries.
But it gets better when you listen to why she's doing it.
I do that for two reasons. Number one, physical. It's basic principles of attraction.
Yeah, no shit, lady. That's what men say. Younger women are hot. It's not rocket science. But somehow when men say this and date younger women, it's a problem and it's called exploitation. It's simply ridiculous. Now moving on to the 40-something party girl from Vegas who constantly switches between being okay and having a mental breakdown.
Why? Because I've been her.
So to set the scene here, she's in her 40s and she only dates younger men, which she really wants to make clear.
I'm dating a 24-year-old.
Oh.
And I'm 41. I prefer to date younger men. I date younger men pretty much exclusively.
Okay, so we get it. She only dates younger men. So how is that working out?
Men are cowards. Men will meet the woman of their dreams. But because they're not willing to live up to her light or her standard or her whatever they perceive it to be, they will take advantage, they'll destroy her.
Was there really any other outcome here? I mean, let's face it, every single time we see a woman so adamant and so angry
What I want to know is, why do you care?
about how wonderful her life is and explaining to you that she's perfectly fine, then clearly that is not the case. But anyways, it's about to get a lot worse, since remember, she thinks that men are cowards for not committing to a woman, and she does not want to play games.
I thought at this point he was done with these games.
Except, this is the same woman who was considering marrying a guy while she was already dating another guy for almost 2 years.
And Bo, who I've been dating since July of 2022, is almost 18 years younger than me, okay? So 2 weeks ago, on my birthday, I was proposed to by somebody that I've known since 9th grade.
Are you kidding me? So this woman talks about men playing games, is in a 2-year relationship.
We are still dating, I don't know what to tell you. We like each other. He's kind. He doesn't shut down and tell me that I'm crazy, like men my own age.
When she gets proposed to by another man and she's seriously considering it.
Because my initial response was going to be like, okay, we can talk about this. We can negotiate our way into this, you know? He's a gorgeous man. He's a successful man. I care about this man.
Now mind you, this is not the 1950s anymore, and men are not just walking around proposing to every single woman. So you know a lot of went down before that dude was even considering a proposal. Plus, he actually believed she might say yes, which is what she was actually considering.
It caught me off guard. Even though I kind of had a sense it was coming, I still wasn't like totally prepared. And so I told him, I was like, I really need to think about this. This is a really big deal.
Oh my god, no, son ridículas, bro. O sea, estás viendo que están desesperadas. Y estás viendo que casi no se les presentan esas oportunidades. Y todavía se atreven a decir que lo van a pensar. No, no quieren casarse, güey. Hay una razón por la cual están solteras a los 50, 41, 50 años, güey. Que es lo mismo, parece 50. O sea, la misma razón por la cual están solteras a esa edad es exactamente, precisamente la razón por la cual está pensando, por la cual le tiene miedo, por la cual dice que no, por la cual dice déjame pensarlo, por la cual dice no estoy preparada, etcétera. ¿Ok? O sea, todo eso, esa es la razón por la cual está soltera. No, ¿cuál es la conclusión? No quieren casarse, güey. Ellas están bien, bueno, no están bien solteras, como que se lavan el cerebro ellas mismas, ¿no? De pensar o creer que están bien, pero en realidad se les está llevando la chingada. Pero bueno.
Why, guys, I and almost every creator in this space constantly says that marriage is dead. I made a video on divorce linked up here, showing how insanely biased the family courts are, and if you marry a woman like this, I guarantee you will experience that firsthand. Now obviously, this woman is broken beyond belief, but to prove that it wasn't men who broke her, I'll let her explain how this happened.
So here's the thing. I was raised by a mother who didn't want me. And so she spent my entire developmental years, like I'm gonna try and say this without crying, letting me know that I was a burden, to do things on my own. Like, she just, very dismissive of my entire existence. So I grew up with a belief system that nobody wanted me. That internal belief system has a way of rearing its ugly head. In fact, like, I was suicidal by the time I was 9.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. However, it is a great segue into our final and most disastrous situation of how older women are setting up their own daughters for failure in both dating and life in general. Because this Karen, yep, her name is actually Karen, has a truly gorgeous daughter who seems very lovely and wholesome. And so you might think, hey, perfect wifey material, right? Well, hold on, because before you guys go off to find a woman just like this, let me remind you of something that Patrick Bet-David once said that really resonated with me since I actually lived this experience.
Who are the 5 friends you call after we have a terrible fight? So she gives me the names. Divorce. How about this one? Divorce. How about this one? Single. How about this one? Married. How about this one? Single. I said, you calling these guys? I said, you call these 5 people, guess who they're gonna defend? She said, who? I said, you.
Yes guys, I can't stress this enough. Before you commit to a woman, be really careful who her closest advisors are, since that will be your biggest problem going forward. And so when your girlfriend's mother is her bestie, who she runs to for advice, and that mother is batshit crazy or a jaded man-hater on a quest to find herself,
I am back. Back on here, back in the UK, and back to being the me before the trauma.
then yeah, you're going to have a horrible time. Now, as with everything in life, you will always find someone doing it bigger and better, and so when it comes to terrible mom advice and guidance, Beth here really takes the cake.
A lot of men over 50 said that they wanted much younger women. However, with years comes age, but also maturity.
Because while Beth was making over 1,000 TikToks instead of providing her daughter with solid advice and guidance, little Brenna over here was getting pumped and dumped raw at Northern University, Illinois, which obviously led to the one and only possible outcome: boom, big old belly. Now if you're thinking, well, maybe she met a nice guy, she fell in love, and they're going to form this nice little family and raise a bunch of kids, no. This dude wants nothing to do with her or the kid, allegedly, because we can't really trust new mommies crying on TikToks, since we all remember Cake Mom.
I'm her ex-husband, and right now I have full custody of our kids. As you can see, I have all weekdays and weekends. And for her to get any rights back to the kids, these are the things that she needs to do. And yes, child support, she owes that. It's up to over $21,000. So
yeah, that got debunked real quick. But yeah, if true, Brenna got herself knocked up by some deadbeat who doesn't care about her at all and doesn't want anything to do with her child.
Bueno, pues este es el resultado, ¿no? Las consecuencias de escuchar. Fíjate que habíamos hablado de un tema así. Vamos a tocar algo así específico. Debes de ponerle atención a quien te aconseja. Bueno, eso también lo habíamos visto hace mucho tiempo, ¿no? Quien te aconseja a tu ruca, pues, como dicen. Te lo digo por experiencia, güey, propia, güey. La neta. O sea, quién está cerca de tu mujer es clave. Y de hecho acabamos de subir un video hace unas horas, si lo quieres checar en mi página de Facebook, de eso, precisamente de eso. De una morra que va, del podcast, Date Cuenta Podcast, que la morra que se va a casar, que está yendo a pláticas en la iglesia, ¿no? Y pues está cagándola, güey. O sea, imagínate, le están diciendo que no cuente sus cosas y ella lo está contando en un podcast. Pues imagínate, qué ridículo es. Pero bueno, eso es lo que tenemos, señores, el día de hoy. Gracias por estar aquí. Nos vemos en la próxima. Dejen sus comentarios. Chao.